You're listening to Real Estate and Bourbon. Whether you like it neat or on the rocks, you're in the right place. And now your host, Dawn Roy.
Well, welcome back to another episode of Real Estate and Bourbon. This is podcast number 10. And
Ooh, perfect 10.
of course, I mean, look who's here.
I love it.
I know.
I'm surprised Susan's here.
Oh, come on now. You know, we flung open the door and he goes, "This is our guest?" What?
No, I said I thought we had a guest.
I thought we had a guest. Am I here?
You're here. You're the bestest guestess ever.
It's like my superpower. I'm invisible, apparently.
But not forgettable.
No,
There we go.
there, he redeemed himself
Yep,
momentarily.
There it is.
So yes, so episode number 10 with Miss Susan Morris, my
Thank
dearest.
you for having me back.
It's an obsession. You're going to be back so many times. You're going to go,
I love it.
Why not?
As many times as possible.
We're friends on Facebook now.
Well, that's a
official.
milestone for you,
It's
I must say.
official. Yeah.
Right? So episode 10, no means no.
No means no.
Yeah. Nay, nay. That's what we're going to talk about. Boundaries and fun stuff. Like, share, follow, subscribe.
Look
Oh
at
my
this.
gosh. I've got it.
Wow.
Right? I'm just moving
It's
right.
impressive.
I mean, it's like the coaster out and bam.
Pew, pew, pew. I'm getting the hang of it. And I'm
Only
getting
took
so
10
excited
times.
because I've sent people messages. Please like and subscribe. It's really interesting. We're getting
Have we
a little
gotten any
traction.
calls yet?
Huh?
Have we
I
gotten
haven't gotten
calls?
any calls yet. We do have the phone number, 804-293-0550. That is not a sex line. That is a call line
Well,
for your questions.
You know what we're going to need to do?
What?
That's a funny story. So when I was putting this together at like 11 o'clock at night, and I wanted to put hotline, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Because it was coming really close to looking something completely different.
I think that
Where will we make the most bang for our buck is all I want to know.
Here's what I think you should do about that phone number.
What?
Because it's not a super easy one to remember.
Okay.
Run a little contest. See who can come up with the best word from those numbers.
Oh, like scramble the number or
I would not-
unscramble the number.
Right.
would not
So
be
that
good with
it's,
that.
like maybe it spells bourbon or maybe,
I would love
maybe
for it to
those-
spell bourbon. I try to get that.
So 804. So maybe that's your,
next-
leave us a message, right? Leave you a message with those numbers spell out.
There you go. Well, let's put it out there. Let's do it.
I'm going to win. I will spend all afternoon, but I'm going to win.
What do they win?
What do they win?
They win a bottle of bourbon.
Yes. A special pick by me.
There you go.
It could be opened already.
It might have been opened. There's
How
a really
about-
good one.
How about to be on the podcast?
They can come on the podcast. They
Depends
can
on
do
who
that.
they are.
Oh, depends on that. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
You got to be interesting and entertain me.
Right.
That's how it is.
Just because you're good at Scrabble doesn't mean
You're worth
that you have a spot.
on the show.
I didn't
So,
say
yeah,
they could be on it. I could say they could be like in it. Like,
they could watch
Oh,
the process.
Yeah.
There you go.
And live audience.
Boom. And speaking of bourbon, so, because I am so committed to the success of said podcast,
Yes.
when I get an email from our local ABC store that says they have select bottles at 20% off, I may or may not have broken the speed barrier to get there.
Well,
to
is
get
it
the-
bourbon month or something?
They had, it was some kind of thing they were doing, and it was a couple of weeks ago. So anyway, this is one, and it is Knob Creek, which is a Kentucky bourbon.
Yeah.
It's 90 proof. It is their smoked maple. And I was like, I have got to try that.
You could probably heat it up and put it on pancakes.
what?
I'm going to that's going to be my next.
When I think maple, I think syrup.
Right?
So,
Ooh.
see,
You've got to smell
Mike,
this.
go make us a waffle.
Go make us a waffle.
Okay.
And just, I know you're not a bourbon person, but we're going to splash. Because when you smell that, you just got to smell it. If you don't,
Yeah. It smells like a pancake.
it
Really?
smells like a pancake.
That's funny.
Golly, don't you smell that? Wow. And it is It's still morning, so.
It does smell like maple.
Oh my God.
And the heavens opened up.
There is such a maple flavor. You are not going to believe it. You are not going to believe it. My people, do yourself a favor. Run to the ABC store. This one is a gem.
I remember seeing that one.
Oh, Lord.
I remember
It is
seeing that
so sweet and maple on the front and very, just a slight spice on the backside.
I think that's why it says maple on the thing.
You think?
Yeah. You know what else you're not going to believe?
I got to take one more sip. Hold on. I'm sorry. This is too delightful. Yes.
Can I get an amen? You know what else you're not going to believe?
What?
Okay.
What?
So this morning, I go into my bathroom. You know,
Normal?
where you're allowed to be naked, right? Because you're getting ready to get in the shower. So
Not naked.
naked. I go in while I turn on my shower, which turns on the light. Okay. So I derobe. I'm brushing my teeth, waiting for the water to heat up because we live in an old house, so it takes a minute. So I brush my teeth. I'm like, I'm going to take a little tinkle before I jump in the shower. I'm sitting on said toilet. I look out of the window, second story window, and there is a man in the tree.
Huh?
And I wave and he laughs.
And waves back. No?
So we're having 4 trees taken down at our house. And
They basically have been paid now. You've paid them. That was their tip.
he hadn't started like the
So you didn't know he was there?
No. But my friend is like a little spider monkey up in the tree, and I'm sitting on the throne, naked as a jaybird. Had just been, I don't know what he saw. I don't know if he saw me brushing my teeth. I don't know. I'm guessing when I turned the shower on and the light came on,
It illuminated said room.
and there I am.
As God made you.
I'm like,
Just as God made you.
you know, sitting there, and then
Susan, honey, only you.
so about, you know, I get in the shower, whatever. I turn the light off. Not that it matters at this point. Turn the light off. He's skedaddling back up the tree, so he's, you know.
Doing his thing.
So
He legitimately waved at you when you waved at him?
I waved.
He acknowledged.
And
He goes,
I mean, it's funny. It's funny. He should have waved. Felipe, tree service. I don't know if it's Felipe Tree Service, but it's Felipe.
who's up the tree?
Yeah. So about 20 minutes later, Jason comes up, my husband comes up, and I was like, hey, do you remember that time you were sitting on the toilet and there was a man outside of the window? And he goes, no. And I went, oh, that's right, because that was me 20 minutes ago. He was like, what? Babe, you didn't hear him with the chainsaw? And I said, no, they weren't cutting yet. So I didn't know that he was already here and up the tree.
You know, well, it's hard to
35
say
feet up in the air.
what kind of excitement one can find in suburbia Chesterfield.
Well, Felipe either had a really good morning or a bad morning. I'm going to let him decide.
It was a morning glory.
It was a morning glory.
I will say, however, nothing excites me more than to hear gas-powered equipment outside in my yard, and I rush to the window, and there's, you know, burly men
Naked, dude?
using those gas, you know. That just delights me.
That is quite a production.
But
taking a tree down.
I've always tried to make sure I was not naked.
Well, I was in my bathroom 2 stories up
And Spider Monkey Felipe.
in this tree. Now I see why Jay was taking it down. It's fairly close to the house.
Like, are we talking like 5 to 10 feet?
We're talking probably 15 feet.
Okay.
I mean,
Now the window on sometimes looking like when I take pictures of houses and they're in the window, they think they can see me, but I can't see them, and they're like, sorry, we're in the window.
But she
and I'm
turned a light on,
That was
I
the
think
only,
though,
that's
if
and
the
I
you're
only-
like-
think he saw
That's the only-
her.
you give a little wave and they wave back.
What's up, Mamacita?
Like, oh, hey, Felipe. What you doing in that tree? Yeah. Well, anyway.
Wow.
Happy Tuesday.
Here we are.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's what else you can't.
What I mean,
You
what
can't believe-
the day
No
can
means
only,
no.
No
means no,
means
Felipe.
no. Damn it!
No means no, Felipe.
Fill that freaking jar. Holy potatoes! Well, and so no means no. I mean, that was a boundary that whether or not you had an established boundary, it got crossed right there.
It was an unintentional cross, I think, on both sides.
Well, yeah, there's no fault.
Right. Yeah.
No
it
harm, no foul.
Right. No, I think it's a dismissal. It's a court dismissal.
Yeah, right.
Right there.
No judge is.
No. I don't think I can.
So, I mean, I don't even know where the day goes after this because, I mean, that's more excitement than most people experience all week, right?
For him. It reminds me of the Seinfeld episode, the good naked and the bad naked.
Yeah.
Do you remember that
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
I was like, it could have gone either way.
It could have gone. I don't know.
That's definitely a movie scene.
Yeah.
That we need to start jotting these down for when we, write the screenplay.
Exactly. Well, there it is.
What's
There
that,
was my-
What was that? Tom Hanks? Is it Tom Hanks or they buy a house and try to like?
Oh, they
renovate.
They
or
renovate
whatever,
it. It turns
and
into a big mess.
and
Money
it's like
pit.
a money pit. And it
The
takes
money pit.
forever. And the lady opens up the medicine cabinet, and
there's
there's a
someone
black
handing
man
her-
there. He's like, "Hey, what do you need in the morning?" And oh, well, you're out of such and such. Just to let you know.
I have never seen
And it
that
was
movie.
Shelley Long. Wasn't it Shelley from Cheers who played his
I just remember
fiance?
seeing
Is that
it.
old as can
Oh,
be?
it's
I remember
old as
going to
can
the
be.
driving theater and seeing that movie. With my
Yeah, that's an
parents.
old one. But
So-
yeah. Or handing them, I mean, they almost like totally break their relationship over this house renovation.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good one. That's a
Yeah,
good one.
it's interesting. So I don't even know if I had anything as awesome as that story.
Not for
So we got the
today,
hotlines. We got the hotline now.
And I think Susan's got a great idea. We take the number 804-293-0550 and decode it. And call in your best unscrambled word
Yeah.
opportunity.
See what it is.
Yeah.
Let's
I like
do
it.
it.
Give it a go.
Give it a run. Let's try it out. Why not? So, speaking of boundaries,
Is that what we're chatting about?
I think,
today?
I think we should chat about that. You know what I mean? Well, and Felipe crossed a boundary that he didn't know he was crossing, but hey, for sure, just to tag onto this just one more second, tree climbers have seen some stuff in windows of houses.
I was thinking the same thing.
Window washers too.
Window washers too. Yeah.
go
I
on.
was thinking the same thing. I was like, this is probably
You're
not
probably
the
not
worst
the
you've
first-
seen. No.
I've seen
Unclothed person.
on a listing. I think it was a guy or a college kid,
Yeah.
just butt naked walking through the hallway, going to the shower. I was like, I'm taking pictures.
Did anybody know I was going to be
I
here?
don't think he woke up knowing that I was coming
Yeah.
with the 4 other guys that live there
Yeah.
on VCU. But that was,
You're lucky anybody.
I know.
It was as clean looking.
Probably didn't even break stride.
He
Just
probably
walking.
did. He's like,
no, he kept on walking.
Yeah.
It's like it didn't bother
Didn't
him
even-
none.
No.
Yeah.
You're not the
So-
first one.
That was on you, actually.
Yeah, that one was on you.
That's my least favorite place to go take pictures, by the way.
It's downtown at
Yeah.
VCU.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
never know. And you know what? I find it interesting as many stories as you tell me about people, you showing up at houses to do the photography, and it's almost like no one knew.
Oh, no.
I'm here.
Or it's an hour before I get there, and they're like,
Still
dude,
trying to,
I'm like,
restage the house.
This was booked a week ago. You knew this.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a mystery. So funny.
No, but it happens.
That's a boundary, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you handle that with agents? How do you establish my business model is I'm coming for the appointment and this is what has to be ready for me? Or do
Yeah.
you?
Well, I think it's setting expectations, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned to expect from certain clients that they're going to be a certain way, and I can't change them. And so
there's some that are just chaotic.
I kind of know, okay, this person, they're probably have never seen the house, or probably have never been there since they were doing the renovations.
Right.
And then I get there and there's contractors still there, or there's a huge mess in the backyard that I can't take a photo. That means I have to come back. And so, yeah, there's all.
It is going to be that no matter what you do or say.
I've learned to, through this career, this path of my career now, and then in the past, what I've done is don't overreact and flip out and, show your emotions. You just kind of try to adjust and see what you can do, squeeze what you can squeeze out of it, and then move on, and hopefully, it'll be a better day. So,
do you have expectations on your clientele? Do you do, like, whether it be buyer, seller, or renovation client or whatever?
Yeah, I think my biggest expectation that I set up front is my family time. I don't work on Sundays. Yep. And I think a lot of, people are like, well, what do you mean you don't work on Sundays? I mean, that's, it's a big open house day. It's a time when people want to go see property. It's just, one of those days that I spend with my family, and I don't make excuses about it. I don't apologize for it.
You don't explain it. You don't.
That's my day off.
Right.
So, and the other thing is time, so don't, I don't answer my phone after 8:00 at night, and I'm not gonna. There's nothing that I can do at 8:00 at night, or 9:00 at night, or 10:00 at night. So if you want to send me an email, that's great. Texting or calling me after that I'm not going to respond, and it's frankly going to piss me off because
I get up super early. There's nothing in my noggin by 8:00.
Yeah.
If I've been up since 5, it's mush.
Yeah.
It is literally Jell-O. There's nothing of value falling out of there, And I think you're completely correct. I know you have seen, just like I have seen, on any Facebook forum for realtors or any of this nonsense, they'll put on there, I am open 24/7. No, you're not. Yeah. And if you are, shame on you. Because what profession, I don't know any attorney, doctor, surgeon, architect, I don't know of any other profession, licensed profession by the state, who advertises that they're available to their clientele 24/7. I just don't know.
It screams a little bit of desperation of, I'm available whenever you need me. No, I'm not available whenever you need me. Yeah. Yeah. I actually got fired about a month ago. It's my first firing I've had in a really long time, probably 10 years, 11 years.
Wow.
I was out with a client showing property. I got a text at, let's say I started showing property at 1. We had about 6 houses to see.
Which takes a while.
Okay. So I get a text at 1:10 that says, we're ready to write an offer on 123 Main Street, whatever the house was. And I said, great. I will be available at 5:00. I'll write it up. Is that fine? That's fine. So I'm on my way home and I'm like, hey, I'm headed to write your offer. And it pens. It goes pending during that time. And they lose their minds.
Oh, I'm sure.
And are like, we sent you this 3 hours ago. We wanted this written 3 hours ago. And I said, guys, I was with a client. Like, I can't stop what I am doing when I'm out with someone else. And
well, would they have wanted you to do that for them? Would they have wanted you to stop showing them a house?
I said, what would you have me do? What would you have me do?
Pending means that it was in play way before 3 hours.
Way before. That was
right?
Yes.
But they were pissed. And I mean pissed.
Beyond any kind of conciliatory restoration of the relationship, they were beyond that.
The word that they used was reeling. We are absolutely reeling.
They're reeling.
Yeah. So I said, okay, well,
That's catastrophic language. No, do you know? I mean, that's almost like gaslighting. That's catastrophic language. To me, what I find interesting in real estate is people, when they're talking about a tangent, okay, this is a tangent. A house is a tangent. This bottle of water is a tangent. It can be just consumed or destroyed. It is not really, to me, worth losing my mind over, right? I have had people call me over losing a home that we did a multiple offer on. You know, we were one of the God knows how many during this craziness, and go, I am devastated. Pardon me? We are devastated we did not get this house.
Are you?
I said, you're devastated over a tangent that could burn to the ground tomorrow.
Right.
To me, devastated and words like that, like what these reeling, those are catastrophic words. That's catastrophic language, right? And to me, the word devastated is my child has cancer.
Right.
That's devastated.
Yeah.
And you and I have been to some funerals here in the last year. Yeah. That's devastating.
Yeah. Well, and I think,
I mean, and I don't mean to be too judgmental, but I think people need to calm down and be aware of the process we're in.
Right. Well, and also like a little backstory of, so they needed to, in the agent only notes, which we can only see as realtors.
Absolutely.
Says ideal closing date is September 15th. Well, they wanted to close the 25th of August. And said, just write in there 25th of August. And I said, guys, it says in there August 15th.
September 15th.
I mean, September 15th.
Yeah.
So we're damn near a month apart.
We're too far on that negotiable item, number one.
So anyway, they were like, your services are no longer needed. And I'm like, see ya later. Like I had set the expectation of, you are not my only client.
Right.
I can only serve one person right now, and it is the person in front of me.
And as well you should.
Right. So I do, on the flip side, I think, yes, we are able to work with many people at the same time, but don't expect me to pick up the phone the moment that you call. Or
do you think the expectation of this scenario is heightened more in the past 10 years?
I do in some ways. I had a similar situation, but it was with a seller, and they had moved here from out of state, built a home over in Collington, and she did not. The wife did not integrate into our area. She was a difficult person. I mean, let's get it out there. And within a year of building, they want to sell for what they have in it, which is just not going to happen. And even though we priced conservatively, it really needed to be lower than what we did because there was still new construction in that neighborhood. And anytime you're competing against new construction, you're behind the eight ball. Because if I can spend another $10,000 or $20,000 and build brand new and pick up and go, get all fuzzy and warm at the builder's, office where I can pick it out on my own flooring, they're going to do that.
Yeah, sure.
And so we kept lowering the price, and she just was very difficult to deal with. And it got to the point where she was now, so when something like that happens, and I learned this in dentistry, it's not the service that they're angry with. They're just angry with what's going on. So then they start hounding you about the service, right? So it's not that I was doing anything wrong in particular. It's just I am a perfect object to take it out on to.
Sure.
And so she's screaming at me on the phone one day about how I don't answer my phone every time she calls. I mean, I call back within the hour, or I call back, within a reasonable period of time, just like you're saying. She is like losing it. And I was in a coffee shop, and I said, I'll tell you what, baby girl. The release will be on in your inbox within the hour. I will have the sign pulled. I mean, I will walk away from that 10 ways to Sunday.
All day.
I am not going to be, and I did one back in the fall. I got too many of the F this, F that text messaging from this couple, and I said, I had them under contract. They were very ugly during the whole inspection period, and then the buyer was like, you know what, we don't need this. Pulled out of the transaction. They got angry with me about it, and they said, well, what's our next step? I said, the next step is for you to sign the release that's on its way to you.
Goodbye.
And the sign will be coming out tomorrow.
Do you know how many people send me emails like in wee hours of the night, only knowing they know that I'm up working?
Yeah, because you do a lot of your editing.
Right, at night and stuff. And so, and they don't even like type in the subject line or they just in the body.
Right.
Or not in the body.
So you
they
don't,
just
it's
do
just
in
a subject line.
Right. But the whole like conversation.
In
Do
all
you
caps.
answer them?
In all caps, by the way.
Yeah, don't scream at me.
Yeah, because like I don't know. There's a bottle that I didn't see across the room in the living room of the person that was drinking their Yeti's cup or whatever.
Right.
And that's in the photo that I shot 4 days ago.
And they're wanting to go active probably first thing in the
10
morning.
listings ago, 10, 12 listings
Right,
ago. I don't
no. Goodbye.
I'm like,
stop.
Is this going to stop the sell of the house?
No.
That's what they're saying, no.
It's the Yeti. I would have bought it, but it had a Yeti sitting on the thing, and I'm
We're
a
anti-Yeti.
really big Hydro Flask fan, so
I don't have stock in Yeti, so
yeah, not doing it.
Oh my God. And that's my point. It's like when I was in dentistry, we would get phone calls of angry people who now were claiming the crown or the service wasn't done right because their insurance claim got rejected or something totally outside of the service. And that's the same thing that goes on here. They come at you with really false claims of some sort of, a damage that's been done to them, but they're really angry for a whole different reason, and that I can't control, and I'm just not going to even try to psychoanalyze you. You know what I mean? We're not blending, this is not working, and I'm okay with breaking up.
Yeah,
I'm swiping left on you, boo-boo. That's how that works, okay?
You act
like a child, and I'm going to treat you as such.
Yeah, I mean, the expectation is I am one person. Mm-hmm. And if you need somebody to answer you within 5 minutes, then go find someone who has no business. And there's a reason why they have no business.
Lord, absolutely.
So you choose what that looks like.
Right.
I don't know about you, but
I'd rather wait for the experienced person. You know what I mean? I would rather have someone who has business and is doing business and has a track record, right? Then if you want someone who can answer every single, that's what I told this lady. I said, if you want someone who can answer every single phone call the very minute you call, go get a newly licensed person.
Well,
have fun with that.
You know that person, who that person is, and within 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Usually they surprised me though, and I think
some people are good at hiding it, and they'll hide it for a little while, and you're your BFF as long as everything's going their way and the whole narrative is going their way. It's like any other relationship. This is just not client. This is all this is boundaries in expectations in all aspects of your life. It's just we're dealing with real estate, the residential space. And you're seeing it now in the renovation space. Well, and I think there's consumer and professional both have expectations, and I think we all need to communicate with each other to make that all mesh. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm like you, I don't work on Sundays. I mean, Sundays are for Jesus and football
and bourbon.
And Miami put it to the Buffalo Bills. Ow! We're 3-0, and all my Buffalo Bill fans don't hate, but it's high time we're due. So I had a lot of texting going on Sunday with my Buffalo Bill people, and they got awful quiet in that fourth quarter. I'm just saying.
You're like, y'all still there?
They sent me a picture of them barbecuing with a dolphin hanging from a fixture. And they said, there's one Dolphin fan here at this party. I'm like, well, that's all you need.
So you're a Miami Dolphin fan?
I have been a Miami Dolphin fan since I was a little girl. Like Larry Zonka, Mercury Morris, all of the really, you know.
My old boss that I worked for X amount, long time when I was out of high school, he's a huge Miami fan.
Oh, and I've never lived in Miami. I mean, it's not like,
he
you know.
lived in so it was a big deal.
Yeah. I have gone through the grocery store on a Sunday with my vintage Larry Zonka jersey, and people and guys, you know, women don't, but guys go, hey girl, we feel you. I'm so sorry. I mean, we've not been great for so long, you know, even with Dan Marino. They never really put a team around him.
Susan, are you a football fan or a college football fan?
We're more of college football fans.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a sports family.
Oh gosh, yeah.
We're a big sports family, but you know, this time of year we're playing fall baseball. So we're at the baseball field on Sundays.
So is there any non-season baseball? Because
in the Morris household?
Yeah, I don't think there's any non-season
No.
baseball.
No, we have about 2 months off, like dead of winter, but he still has workouts
Like
and
practice.
stuff.
I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
different like coaches and
Yeah.
things.
This is the first town that I lived in that there wasn't a major NFL team in town.
Oh my gosh, it's depressing that we don't have anything like that. And I think Richmond really needs to do something, but that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah, we love college basketball.
Yeah, that
We're
seems
Yeah.
to be big.
college
That seems to
basketball.
be big here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, I went to MCV, so I don't have a team from a college level. Now I've got friends. I've got a dear friend. Her son was a walk-on at UT, and I got to go see him play. And now that's an SEC game. That is
those are
some
fun.
cool stuff.
Yeah,
I
those
mean,
are those
that
are really
is-
fun.
I mean, you got the pom pom. You're like the fans are nuts. That's
And super fun.
And the game I went to, Peyton Manning was there, and he walked on the field. He came out of the tunnel right underneath us because we were at one of the end zones, and because he's a UT grad, and it was just unbelievable to see someone of his caliber in person. It was really neat.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, Sundays are golf. Big
for Jay.
yeah, for Jay. Jay's my golfer.
Yeah. And I'm not against the golfing. I like golfing. I'm not super good
Do you
at
go
it,
with
but-
him sometimes?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Not even to drive the
If
car.
if he's playing golf, then I'm in my workshop.
She's in her workshop doing
Gentlemen's
fun.
only, ladies forbidden.
That's it.
Yeah, more like you're gonna be gone for 4.5 hours. Sweet.
Yes.
I'm gonna be in my workshop for 4.5 hours.
Wrong with
I'm
the
gonna run upstairs and go to the bathroom, and maybe someone will be in the.
You never know. Never know.
options are open here. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
And
I'm so excited about my new door hanger.
sup witches. Yeah. That's
She's
good
made
killing.
this door hanger for Halloween, and when she posts them on Instagram, I'm like, have to say, I want one. Like me.
they'll be gone.
She goes, limited supply. I want one.
Wait, this is a big. This is a thing.
It's a big. Oh my god.
Door hanger.
For your door.
Yes.
No,
Like a-
when
like
I
a-
say
like
I'm
a-
in my workshop, like
She's
I mean I'm
making
in my
stuff
workshop.
to sell. It's super cool.
Oh, really?
She's
Yeah.
got this cool what do you
CNC machine.
Yeah.
CNC router. Yeah.
Really?
It's super
Do you
neat.
sell it on like Facebook Market, or what do you do?
Facebook Marketplace, Instagram.
To
Yeah.
friends who just can't stand not to have. I've
Yeah.
got one for Christmas, and it's the what is it? The Christmas vacation.
So
Oh, it
what's that
says,
number? What's that number again?
it's a Butte
Place your
Clark.
orders.
Place your.
It's a Butte Clark.
It's a Butte Clark. That's I got
That's
that
our
one last
yeah.
year.
We no, I make things in my workshop for real. Like
So that's your kind of like side thing that you
I
like
think
to
it's
do.
her. I think it's her place of peace.
it's my love.
Happy
I love
place.
being in my workshop. Yeah.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
yourself.
I just made a 7-foot surfboard decoration, inch thick, epoxied with the beach. We just bought another investment property at the beach that has the name of the house on the board,
Wow.
and
That is so cool.
It's so cool. Yeah,
Called
they
her one
sell
Sunday.
on Etsy for like $800.
I called her one
then
Sunday.
why can't you have a backdrop for the, the logo of the
I totally
podcast?
can.
And we could
Yeah.
put like little fairy lights on it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I called her
Totally
one
do it.
Sunday and I said, I'm taking Delilah out for a drive. Where are you? She says, I'm in my happy place.
In my happy place. I'm in my workshop, covered in sawdust and paint.
I said, Delilah's going to come see you.
Yeah, it's so fun. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah.
Wow, that's something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. I know. I think most people are like, whose tools are? I'm like, they're mine.
They're hers.
They're mine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. I love it. I love the smell. My dad was a hardwood lumber broker, and he always smelled like sawmill.
Yeah.
Like wood and outdoors. So I think I love that smell of wood being cut, and when you drive by a sawmill, that
Oh my gosh. Yes.
that smell. I love it.
Well, that's a boundary right there when you're in your element and time, and it's like you need to.
Oh, very much. So.
Shut
Well, and
down.
that's why
Yeah.
you have to. I don't care what profession you're in. You have got to set boundaries of when and when you do not engage in your typical traditional workspace, right?
Yeah.
So, when I sit down with sellers or even with buyers, I tell them this, don't call me after 7:00. My brain is total
Mush.
it's a mushroom up there. And I said, and on Sundays, that's out. And I'll tell you what, the people that really are sincere, the people that are really, listening, I guess, are the ones that will text me and go, I know, or they'll email.
Yes.
I know this is your day off. Don't answer this until Monday. We just wanted to get it out there so that you would have it. Because they've gotten emails from me at 5:07. They're like, are you really emailing? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's me.
I love the people who say, when I say, these are my boundaries, these are the expectations, and they go, we love that.
Yeah.
We love that.
And the ones that don't, when you get pushback from that from the beginning, then ahead of time not to take that client on. But then there are coverts, that hide that long enough that you don't see it until, I always say that, only when people are pressured do you start to see the fracture in the dam. Only when people are really pressured in any kind of negative,
that's a
because
great point.
any transaction is going to be, there's going to be some negative aspects of it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Whether you are in control or not, the lender could do this, or the appraisal could come in with that, or, whatever it is. And that, when the pressure is put on someone, that's when you really see the true self.
Yes.
And I pay attention to that more than anything you'll ever tell me.
Yes.
I watch what you're doing while you're pressured.
Yeah. That's when you see it.
That's a cute tip there, you single ladies out there, for dating.
Yeah.
Pressure, a little
You need
pressure.
to tweak that.
You need to tweak that, Go through the seasons and see how people respond to unpleasant situations.
Well, that can go two ways too. If the person that doesn't react and respond, that can mean another thing too.
Oh, however it comes out, however it manifests, it's speaking something, in my opinion.
Yes.
It is speaking louder than what did I hear? I can't remember what I saw recently. It was something about, I'm not listening to what you say as much as watching what you do. That's really the truth, And if you don't watch what people do, their behavior tells you more about what's going on up in here and here than what because people can verbalize, people can manifest whatever you want to hear. I mean, I've known people that will tell me exactly what I want to hear. And it's easy to do, right? It's easy to compliment someone and keep feeding them.
Yeah.
But you've got to watch how they behave.
Wasn't it Maya Angelou who said, when people show you who they are, believe them?
100%. And do it the first time. Quit. And I find it interesting, and you see it in whether people are dating or whether agents trying to because it's a big transaction, they keep trying to talk away the red flags that are being thrown. You've got to believe them the first time they show themselves. Not but it's an 800,000 and if you don't have enough boundaries with yourself, I tell you what, the boundary situation or the boundary subject is not so much me putting a boundary on others. I need to respect my own boundaries. Because that TikTok I sent, if I send you a TikTok, it means you're my person and I love you. I sent Susan a TikTok earlier this morning, and the gal basically said, and she was, miming it over a sound, and it was, others already know your boundaries. They're just trying to see if you do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, mic drop.
Yeah. And I think it's also comes down, my coach always says, set your standards, stick to your standards. Because the moment that you drop your standard, gets like creepy crawlies just start to come in, right? If you have a standard and this is your standard and you do not go below that standard and you don't let that standard drop for anyone, then that's your wall.
And have you ever, and I bet the answer is yes, but I'm going to, pull my own self out, is when you start lowering your standards, that's when self-doubt starts dripping in and questioning myself starts dripping in. When I no longer value me, that's when all that other crazy stuff starts to want to infiltrate itself in on you.
Will you do it just this one time? No, sure won't. Won't do it this one time.
And it takes a while anytime. It takes a while to get there, though. I mean, I wish I had been in this mindset 30 years ago. Truly.
Wow. Yeah, but geez,
the journey's been interesting. It's all good. It's all good.
I think the thing is, no means no for others and for ourselves.
Well, to tell yourself no, because sometimes you have to tell yourself, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. And I love the, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no.
Wow.
Boom.
Wow. I think that's our title.
If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. And no means no to everyone, and everyone should have boundaries. And we appreciate you being here. And
love it.
I'm so glad you.
I know, it goes by so fast. Makes me sad.
It does make me sad. Again, though, we're going to do this again.
Yeah.
Again and again and again.
I love it.
Because
I'll be here anytime.
You're awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Oh,
it was fun.
Every time.
It's always fun.
All day long. Real Estate and Bourbon. Come see us again. And like, follow, share, subscribe. Can't wait to see you next time.
Bye, guys.
You've been listening to the Real Estate and Bourbon podcast, hosted by Dawn Roy. Have real estate or bourbon questions or a juicy story you want us to talk about? Call our hotline at 804-293-0550, and maybe you can be on our podcast. This has been a Studio 77 production. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow the Real Estate and Bourbon podcast.